Today is my birthday. I am incredibly grateful that my family has given me the startup funds for a charity, the Mental Health Choice Project.org. My charity aims to spread awareness about the detrimental effects of psychiatric medications before people become physically dependent. I, as a medical malpractice attorney, I knew nothing flat about the harms of psychiatric medications before I became physically dependent. If psychiatric medications work for you, I have no issues with that. I advocate for people to feel like they can ask questions. I'm very transparent when I post publicly with firm boundaries for my family. I have a website, ellenlubensky.com, where I have my podcasts and my articles. So today, my charity goes live, the Mental Health Choice Project.org. It has a GoFundMe there. If you have resources, I would love your support. If you don't have resources, a message of support would be great as well. There are so many people who have struggled so much more than I have this year. I am very lucky that I have a house over my head and the ability to speak. This is something, speaking publicly about this is something that is my mission and what I love to do. Nobody should feel like they have to be public. There are other people who are public, but I want people to feel free to ask questions. I always thought that my job or my custody would be in jeopardy if I started speaking publicly. In fact, neither of them has been the case. I'm going for positive energy right now. Forgiveness, treating yourself with kindness and forgiveness. Choose yourself first is always the cardinal rule, is to choose yourself first, to be there for anybody else. And at many times, I have not felt that I could choose myself first. I urge people to, take their PTO days to spend the time to be there for their children and themselves. And I think that is incredibly important, that you take the time to take care of yourself and your mental health. I think therapy is incredibly important, and unfortunately, all too often, therapy is much more expensive than a little pill. And I advocate for therapy to be a cheaper and more available. If you support my mission, please go to the mentalhealthchoiceproject.org. If you have the finances, I would love for your financial support with my GoFundMe. If you don't, that's perfectly fine as well. Any messages of support would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I greatly hope that everybody is doing well, whether they withdraw or not. Thanks so much for listening to my reel.